Welcome to The Explainer. We are jumping right into an absolute earthquake happening right beneath our digital feet today. Generative AI is quite literally rewriting the entire rulebook for online visibility. For 20 years, we've all played the same traditional SEO game, stuffing keywords, building backlinks, fighting tooth and nail just to rank as a little blue link. But those days, they're fading fast. We are officially entering the era of Generative Engine Optimization.
83%. Let that number just sit with you for a second. According to recent benchmarking data, a staggering 83% of AI overview citations come from pages completely outside the traditional organic top 10. The legacy websites that used to utterly dominate page 1 are basically being bypassed the second an AI model decides to step in and answer a user's question directly.
Now you might be wondering, does this AI-driven traffic even pay the bills? Well, the financial upside is massive. Visitors who actually find your site through an AI search recommendation convert 4.4 times better than your standard organic traffic. They bounce less, they stay longer, and they are way further along in their user journey. You absolutely cannot afford to miss the boat on this. It's a completely different ballgame now. Traditional SEO was entirely obsessed with the query itself. You optimized for exact match keywords, you built domain authority by hoarding backlinks, and you measured your success by where you sat on the SERP. Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO, totally flips the script. The AI genuinely doesn't care about your backlinks, it cares about clearly defined entities, factual extractability, and ultimately, whether your content is trustworthy enough to cite. Okay, let's lock in exactly what we're talking about here. Generative Engine Optimization is the practice of optimizing your digital content to achieve favorable visibility, accurate representation, and preferential citation in AI-generated search responses. You aren't just trying to be found anymore, right? You are trying to be perfectly understood and extracted by a machine.
Section 1. How generative engines work.
To really master this stuff, we have to peek under the hood and understand the mechanics, specifically the Retrieval Augmented Generation process, or RAG for short. When a user fires off a question, the AI isn't just relying on its internal memory banks. First, a retrieval model scours a massive vector database to pull highly relevant document fragments. Then, a generating model kicks in, synthesizing those specific fragments into a cohesive, conversational response, and crucially, it generates inline attributions as it goes.
It's like a giant puzzle. In traditional search, you're handed a linear list of links. You had to do the clicking, the reading, the synthesizing, but generative engines, they do the heavy lifting for you. They weave the best pieces of information from multiple different sources into a single cohesive paragraph, citing their sources right there in the text. Which brings us to this incredible realization. The metric that matters isn't ranking, it's reference rate. Your goal is no longer just holding a spot on a page. The new metric of success is whether you are the actual source the AI chooses to cite when it builds its answer. You're either part of the conversation or you're invisible.
Section 2. The GEO benchmark data.
Thankfully, we aren't just guessing here. We've got hard, systematic data from a massive academic study out of Princeton and SigKDD to show us exactly what moves the needle. By simply adding relevant expert quotations to your content, your visibility in AI answers spikes by 41%. Adding precise statistics, that's a 31% boost. And just improving fluency, meaning making your sentences clearer and easier for a machine to parse, gives you a 28% bump. Generative engines absolutely crave verifiable facts,
But wow, check out the flip side, a negative 8% drop. If you try clinging to old-school tactics like keyword stuffing, you will literally be penalized. The benchmark data showed a very real 8% drop in generative visibility when creators repetitively jammed in keywords. Large language models understand semantic value. To them, your repetitive keywords just look like low-effort spam.
Section 3. Top tactics by the numbers.
So how do we actually put this into practice? 3 rapid-fire steps to immediately make your content catnip for AI parsers. First, swap out those vague qualitative statements for precise numbers. Don't just say many companies struggle. Say 47% of companies struggle. Second, quote recognized experts directly in the text. And third, cite credible third-party sources. Your page needs to feel like a highly reliable, bulletproof research paper to the AI.
and depth, absolutely crucial. Thin content is totally out. The data proves that comprehensive pages, specifically pages packing over 20,000 characters, pull in a massive 4.3 times more citations from AI engines than shorter content. The AI is looking for that one definitive resource that attacks a topic from every angle and anticipates follow-up questions.
But wait, it's not just about dumping a ton of words on a page. Information placement is literally everything here. Over 44% of all AI citations are yanked directly from the very first 30% of your document. These models are highly efficient. They heavily favor front-loaded factual claims. You need to answer the core question immediately at the very top, and then use the rest of those 20,000 characters to flesh out the details.
Okay, let's talk technical baselines, because you cannot skip these. AI relies on structure to grasp context. Almost 69% of all cited pages use a strict, logical H1, H2, H3 heading structure. 61% are utilizing JSON-LD schema markup to explicitly map out entities. And freshness? Still king. Content updated within the last 30 days gets a 3.2 times citation multiplier. Consider this your bare minimum checklist.
Section 4. The small brand advantage. Now, this is where things get really wild. It's probably the most exciting revelation from the entire study. In the old days, massive incumbent brands held all the cards thanks to those decades-old backlink profiles. But researchers ran a simulation where every page optimized for GEO. The result? The top-ranked incumbent site actually lost over 30% of its visibility share. Meanwhile, the little guy ranking all the way down at position 5, their visibility absolutely skyrocketed.
You see, traditional search leaned heavily on off-page signals, which inherently favored the massive legacy brands. Generative AI, on the other hand, conditions its choices directly on the actual quality, structure, and factual density of the content on the page itself. The old insurmountable moats are drying up. Which leads us to this absolute game changer of a number, 115.1%. A previously struggling, fifth-ranked site can see a 115.1% jump in visibility just by structuring their data and properly citing their sources. The AI does not care if you're a multi-billion-dollar corporation or a totally niche startup. If your content is the most factual and well-structured, you get the citation, period. So as we wrap up this explainer today, I really want to leave you with one provocative question to chew on. Are you still optimizing just to be ranked as a blue link on a search page, or are you ready to optimize to be cited as the definitive source of truth? This shift isn't coming, it's already here. The brands that adapt to generative engine optimization right now are the ones who are going to own the digital conversations of tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer. We'll see you next time.